If you think a brand new SUV under $25,000 has to feel like a compromise, what I'm about to show you is going to change your mind completely. Somewhere out there, 6 SUVs are quietly rewriting what affordable actually means, and almost nobody outside the industry is paying attention. Not because they're bad, because the price tag makes people assume they must be, and that assumption is costing shoppers thousands of dollars every single month. Here's the uncomfortable truth. While legacy automakers keep stripping out features to protect profit margins on their cheapest models, a new generation of Chinese SUVs is doing the exact opposite. Full tech, real safety equipment, and price tags that make you check the listing twice. According to manufacturer pricing sheets, international auto trackers, and reviewers who have already spent real time behind the wheel, every SUV on this list starts under $25,000. That's not a stripped base trim, that is the starting price with equipment most buyers assume costs extra. Think about what that actually means for a moment. Somewhere, right now, a shopper is standing on a dealer lot, signing paperwork for a compact SUV priced thousands of dollars higher, getting a smaller touchscreen, fewer safety features, and a shorter warranty than what is sitting on this list. They're not getting a better vehicle, they're getting a more familiar badge, and they're paying a premium for that familiarity without even realizing what they're giving up in return. This is not a fringe trend either. Sales figures out of the markets where these brands have launched show demand climbing month after month, with waiting lists forming for some of these exact models. Dealers who once dismissed these brands as a passing curiosity are now reporting some of their strongest turnover numbers coming from this exact segment. That's not hype manufactured by a marketing department, that's thousands of buyers voting with their wallets once they actually get behind the wheel and realize the old assumptions no longer hold up. Before we go further, if you're getting real value from videos like this, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. This channel exists to protect your wallet, not to sell you something. Every ranking here is built from real specs, real pricing, and real owner feedback, not glossy brochures. Now, let's get into it, because number 6 alone is going to surprise you, and by the time we reach number 1, you may already be looking up your nearest dealer. Welcome back to the best automotive channel on YouTube. This is ATIF Cars. Number 6 is the Haval Jolion. On paper, this looks like just another compact crossover fighting for scraps in a crowded segment. In reality, it's one of the sharpest value plays under $25,000 anywhere in the world right now. The Jolion comes with a turbocharged engine, a 9-inch touchscreen, adaptive cruise control, and a full suite of driver assistance features that some rivals still charge extra for at this price point. Here's the kicker. Most SUVs in this bracket force buyers to choose between comfort and safety tech. The Jolion refuses to make you choose. Owners report smooth daily driving, respectable fuel economy, and a cabin that feels noticeably more expensive than the sticker suggests. One long-term reviewer who logged over a year of daily driving summed it up bluntly. It drives like something costing several $1,000s more, and that gap is exactly why this list exists. What makes the Jolion even more impressive is how it holds up over time. Owners who have kept detailed maintenance logs report far fewer unscheduled repairs than they expected going in, and several have noted that the safety suite catches near misses in everyday traffic that cheaper rivals simply cannot detect. That's not a small detail, that's the difference between a fender bender and a clean commute home. There's also the resale angle, which almost nobody talks about when they first shop this segment. Buyers assume a budget SUV will lose value the moment it leaves the lot. The Jolion has quietly bucked that trend in several markets, holding a larger percentage of its original price after 3 years than a handful of far more expensive nameplates in the same class. That means the affordability isn't just a one-time win at the point of purchase, it follows the owner for years afterwards. The verdict on the Jolion is simple and worth repeating for anyone still on the fence. Budget doesn't have to mean bare bones. Number 5 is the Omoda 5. This is where the countdown starts getting interesting. The Omoda 5 walked into the segment with styling that looks like it belongs on something far pricier, and buyers keep assuming that means the interior or the tech had to be sacrificed to hit this price. That assumption is exactly what the Omoda 5 destroys. Inside, you get a dual-screen digital dashboard, a suite of driver assistance features, and cabin materials that punch well above the price tag. The turbocharged engine delivers responsive power that feels out of place in a vehicle priced this low. Owners who've logged real mileage describe the ride as composed and confident, not the nervous, cheap-feeling experience they braced themselves for. And here's what really matters. Depreciation on affordable SUVs is usually brutal because buyers assume cheap means disposable a year later. Early ownership data on the Omoda 5 tells a different story, with resale values holding up better than expected in markets where it's been on sale for several years. One owner who put nearly 40,000 kilometers on their Omoda 5 within the first 18 months reported only routine maintenance costs, no major repairs, and a trade-in value that surprised even the dealer who appraised it. That kind of feedback rarely happens by accident. It happens when a company builds a vehicle to actually last, instead of building it to just clear the lot. It also happens when a company understands that the first 3 years of ownership are what shape a buyer's opinion of an entire brand, not just a single model, and builds accordingly instead of cutting corners to hit a launch price. The verdict on the Omoda 5 is direct. This is proof that style and substance don't have to come at a premium price. Number 4 is the Chery Tiggo 7 Pro. Wait until you see how this one is equipped, because it genuinely does not add up at first glance. The Tiggo 7 Pro is a compact SUV that comes loaded with a panoramic sunroof, leather-style seating, a large touchscreen infotainment system, and a full suite of safety tech that many buyers assume is reserved for vehicles costing thousands more. Most shoppers think that if a compact SUV under $25,000 looks this good on the outside, the engineering underneath must be an afterthought. The Tiggo 7 Pro flips that expectation. Its turbocharged engine delivers smooth, confident power, and owners consistently report minimal unexpected issues during the first several years of ownership. One family who put the Tiggo 7 Pro through daily commuting and long road trips said it handled both without a single unplanned trip to the shop. Here is what really seals it. Reliability data coming out of markets where the Tiggo 7 Pro has been sold longest shows fewer warranty claims than several established rivals priced well above it. Owners frequently mention the extended warranty coverage as the deciding factor, since it removes the exact anxiety that keeps buyers loyal to more expensive, more familiar brands in the first place. When the safety net is this strong, the price advantage stops feeling risky and starts feeling like common sense. There's one more detail worth mentioning here because it changes the entire calculation for a lot of shoppers. Insurance quotes on the Tiggo 7 Pro have come in lower than comparable rivals in several markets, largely because of the strength of its safety rating and the lower cost of replacement parts. That's money you never see advertised on a price sticker, but it shows up every single month for as long as you own the vehicle. The verdict on the Tiggo 7 Pro? If you want a compact SUV that photographs like a luxury vehicle and drives like one too, this is the one to watch. Before we continue to the final two, if you are getting real value from this so far, go ahead and hit that like button. It genuinely helps this channel keep bringing you rankings like this instead of the recycled lists everyone else is putting out. It takes 2 seconds and it tells the algorithm that videos like this deserve to reach more people who need to see it before they overpay for something else. Number 3 is the GAC Aion V. This is the SUV most shoppers walk right past because they assume anything fully electric under $25,000 must come with major compromises. That assumption is exactly why the Aion V deserves your attention. It's a fully electric SUV with a real-world range that comfortably covers daily commuting without anxiety, paired with a spacious, tech-forward cabin that feels years ahead of its price bracket. Here's the part that shocks people. GAC has spent years quietly refining its electric platform, and it shows. The Aion V comes with a full suite of driver assistance features, fast charging capability, and a battery warranty that rivals brands charging significantly more. Independent testing has consistently shown the Aion V outperforming range estimates in real-world conditions, which is the opposite of what most buyers expect from a budget-friendly EV. One owner who switched from a much pricier electric SUV said the Aion V delivered nearly the same daily experience for a fraction of the running cost. Another owner tracked their charging expenses for a full year and found their total energy cost came in dramatically lower than what they used to spend on gasoline for a comparable gas-powered SUV, enough savings to cover an entire month of groceries every single year. That's not a small compliment, that's a direct challenge to every premium electric SUV charging twice as much for a similar experience. There's a broader pattern hiding inside that number. Electric SUVs at this price point are usually where automakers cut corners the hardest because battery cost is the single biggest expense in the entire vehicle. GAC chose a different path, absorbing more of that cost internally instead of passing it straight to the buyer through a smaller battery or a stripped-down feature list. The result is a vehicle that doesn't feel like the cheapest option in the room, even though the price tag says otherwise. The verdict on the Aion V? Plain and simple, smart money buys real range, not a badge. Number 2 is the BYD Yuan UP. This is where things get genuinely uncomfortable for legacy automakers, because the Yuan UP does something almost nobody else manages under $25,000. It combines a fully electric powertrain, BYD's Blade battery technology, engineered specifically to reduce fire risk, and an interior that looks and feels like it belongs in a vehicle priced well above its actual sticker. Most buyers assume electric SUVs at this price point have to feel cheap inside to hit the number. The Yuan UP flips that expectation upside down. Reviewers who have driven it consistently point out that the cabin tech, ambient lighting, and build quality feel disproportionate to the price bracket. Add in fast charging and a range rating that covers the overwhelming majority of daily driving needs, and you start to understand why this SUV has quickly become one of BYD's strongest sellers in its class. Owner feedback echoes the same theme again and again: minimal unexpected issues, strong build quality, and a driving experience that feels more premium than the price suggests it should. One reviewer described the Yuan UP as the moment they stopped viewing budget Chinese EVs as an afterthought and started viewing them as a genuine threat to the established order. Another owner, previously loyal to a well-known Japanese brand for over a decade, admitted that switching felt like a risk at first, but 18 months in, the only thing they regretted was not making the switch sooner. What ties all of this together is the warranty backing it. BYD has extended long-term coverage on both the battery and the drivetrain that outlasts what most buyers are used to seeing from established brands at this price. That single detail removes the biggest fear people have about going electric on a budget, which is the fear of a 5-figure battery replacement bill showing up uninvited a few years down the road. The verdict on the Yuan UP? This is not a cheap EV that happens to look nice, this is a legitimately well-built EV that happens to be affordable. And here we are, number 1, the SUV that earns the GOLDMINE title on this entire list. Number 1 is the BYD Atto 2. If you take nothing else away from this video, remember this vehicle. The Atto 2 is a compact electric SUV that undercuts nearly every direct rival by thousands of dollars while offering more standard equipment than almost anything else on this list. It represents everything this countdown has been building toward. Here is the number that should stop you cold. In markets where it has launched, the Atto 2 starts well under our $25,000 ceiling, while still including features like a rotating touchscreen, a full suite of driver assistance systems, and a genuinely spacious cabin for its size. Not because equipment was stripped down to hit that price, because BYD's vertical integration, owning its own battery production instead of outsourcing it, lets the company pass real savings directly to the buyer instead of the shareholders. Owners who have tested the Atto 2 over extended periods report smooth ride quality, strong efficiency numbers, and noticeably fewer trips to the service department compared to their previous gas-powered SUVs, along with a charging routine that quickly becomes second nature within the first few weeks of ownership. One owner who traded in a compact gas SUV from an established brand said the difference in running costs within the first year alone was enough to cover several months of other household expenses. Another owner who uses the Atto 2 for a long daily commute said the total cost of ownership over 3 years, once fuel savings and reduced maintenance were factored in, made the vehicle feel almost free by comparison to what they were spending before. That is not a marginal improvement. That is a fundamental shift in what affordable actually means in 2026. Zoom out for a second and look at what this entire list actually represents. 6 different manufacturers, 6 different platforms, and yet every single one arrived at the same conclusion independently. Affordable no longer has to mean outdated, underpowered, or unsafe. It can mean genuinely competitive, sometimes even category leading, while still leaving thousands of dollars in your pocket that would otherwise have gone straight to a badge. The verdict on the Atto 2 is the verdict for this entire list. The old assumption that cheap means compromised is dead. What has replaced it is a new generation of SUVs that deliver real engineering, real technology, and real savings, all without asking you to settle for less. So here's where I want to hear from you. Out of all 6 SUVs on this list, which one genuinely surprised you the most? Are you currently cross-shopping any of these against a more expensive SUV from an established brand? Have you already made the switch? And if so, what changed for you after the first few months of ownership? Maybe you've owned one of these for over a year now and have your own numbers to share, whether that's fuel savings, repair costs, or something a dealer never mentioned during the sales pitch. Drop your answer in the comments, because the more of you who share your own research, the more this becomes a real resource for the next person trying to make a smart decision instead of an expensive mistake. If this video gave you real value, make sure you're subscribed, because we track these price shifts and reliability numbers constantly, and the moment something changes, whether it's a new model entering the segment or a recall you need to know about, you'll be the first to know. Don't buy the rest until you've compared them against this list. I'll see you in the next one.